நாடுநடும் பொழில் மாலிருஞ்சோலை நம்பிக்கு நான் நூறு தடாவில் வெண்ணெய் வாய் நேர்ந்து பராவி வைத்தேன். நூறு தடாவில் நிறைந்த அக்காடு அடிசில் சொன்னேன். ஏழு திருவுடையாய் இன்று வந்திவை கொள்ளும் கொலோ. இன்று வந்து இத்தனையும் அமுது செய்திடப்பெறில் நான் 100,000 கொடுத்து பின்னுமாலும் செய்வன். கன்றல் மனம் கமரும் திருமாலிருஞ்சோலை தன்னுள் நின்ற பிரான் அடியேன் மனத்தே வந்து நேர்படிலே. We've been looking at Thiruppāvai. In this sense, today we are looking at the 27th Pāsuram of Thiruppāvai. We are almost done. In the last 5 Pāsurams, as I had mentioned, Andal, she goes about with packing as much philosophy as she can. So yesterday, in that sense, we looked at Malaya Manivanna. We looked at how it is very important to share any Gurana that we get. In today's Pāsuram, I said the title is Let's Party. So very interestingly, you see that usually when you start a Vratam, you see even on Ekadasi Vratam, if you were to start Ekadasi, at the end of the Vratam, they will, Dwadasi, most people, right, even if they do Ekadasi, they will eat bunch of things, small things during that Ekadasi day. However, they will make sure to do Dwadasi Parana. That's without a miss. During Dwadasi, you will see so many different varieties of food. You see more korma, etc. All of our favorites will be there that day. That's the specialty. Whenever a Vratam is over, usually it is practiced to eat well. It is usually practiced to start wearing a lot of jewelry and to celebrate the end of the Vratam. That is usually the practice. And so Andal, in that sense, in her metaphorical Vratam, Andal is not doing any Vratam, but she's pretending to do a Vratam. In that pretend and play of that Vratam, she's now, Vratam is over. So now it's time to party is what we see here. And so in that sense, right, this Pāsuram, she talks about let's eat something called akkar edisal. She does a lot. She says a lot of more other things as well. But this akkar edisal, I will get to the recipe when we come to that part of the Pāsuram. It's very interesting to hear that recipe itself. Usually we in the name of akkar edisal, we just make chakra pongal and say that is akkar edisal. That's not akkar edisal. I'll tell you exactly how akkar edisal should be made. I read it in one commentary a long time back, how the akkar edisal should specifically be made. I believe that is the recipe that is also followed in Shiviliputtur. So I'll get to that at that point. However, the point of this Pāsuram, before I said this, I brought up 2 Pāsurams from Nachiyar Thirumazhi, also by Andal. Nadiranarum Poyil Maliranjolai Nambiki. That Maliranjolai Nambi, Kallaragar, you see, he's very beautiful Perumal. Kilavali Elamai, Kedavathan Munnam, Valavali Mayum, Madiviya Koyil, Valavilam Poyil Shul, Maliranjolai, Talavilagil, Salvadhisadire. திருமாலிருஞ்சோலை மலை என்ன திருமால் வந்து என் நெஞ்சினை புகுந்தான் குருமாவணி வந்து பொருள் பொன்னி தென்பால் திருமால் சென்று செயல்படம் தென் திருப்பேர். So many hours they continuously sing this திருமாலிருஞ்சோலை கல்லழகர். Such a beautiful Perumal. Even now he's very specially known for on the Paurnami day he goes for his Gudara Vahanam is very famous even now. You see that Kallalagar's Gudara Vahanam. If you go to Madurai you can see him. Thirumaaliruncholai, also known as Paramaduricholai now. That Malai is the Perumal itself. Andal says for that Perumal, Thirumaaliruncholai Malaikku, நான் 100 தடாவில் வெண்ணெய் வாய் நின்று பராவி வைத்தேன். I'm going to give him 100 andas, 100 pots of butter. Because Krishna, he likes butter, right? So I'm going to give him 100 pots. And then beyond that as well, I'm going to give him 100 huge andas of akkar edisal. This akkar edisal she promised. As I mentioned previously, she did not do that. Only Ramanuja afterwards came and did that. That's why we already looked at Perumbudur Mamlikku Pinnanaval previously in one of the Vaiditharanams. That being said, on that side, she says that I will do this entire thing for you. At that time, Perumal says, wow, you've offered me so many things. Most people, if they offer something at the temple, they will have a list of things that they want to ask afterwards. They will go to the temple with all these things to do Archana. And then once the main purpose of the Archana is not so that Perumal can have this, but rather so that we can say our names there. And then thereby we can get, the priest can pay for our wellness or something. We are always doing something with some behind ulterior motive, right? You see that even with I previously mentioned, they'll do Kalyana Utsavam in Tirupati. Kalyana Utsavam is very famous in Tirupati. So what will people do? They will promise that I will do Kalyana Utsavam for you if you can get me married. You first get me married, then I will do Kalyana Utsavam for you. It's not even that we are willing to spend a little bit of money and do the Kalyana Utsavam, because what if he doesn't do Kalyanam for us? We cannot waste that amount of money. That's the situation we are at. So Perumal thinks, oh, another person has come in that sense. They want something. What do you want now? You have come and eaten all this. Nan, Wundunurayamam Koduthu, I'm going to give you 100,000 just like this. Pinnu Valum Savan. Similarly, I'll do this again and again. Tenthel Manam Kaparum, Thirumalin Jole, Tanul, Ninda Pina, Nadien, Manate, Vandine, Padil. Come sit in my heart. I will continuously think about you. I'll continuously give you this Akka Edison and this butter. As I previously mentioned, butter is why did Krishna be born to steal butter? Because butter is the soul. The soul of the milk is the butter. You have to go through such a deep process to get to that butter. It is the soul of the milk. So similarly, he's going to steal our soul. Mandener padile. What is this akka edison? That is also not just some sweet for us. Even though for us, all we know is the sweet, akka edison also has a significance to it. We will look into that in today's pastor. Koodaarai vellum seer Govinda. Undanai Padi Paragonde, Yambaram Sammanam, Nadapuram Parisinal Nandaga, Shudagame, Tolvalaye, Tore, Sevipuve, Adagame, Yendanaya, Palgaranum Yamanimo, Ada Urupo,
Modanai paid Mudanke Vimara, Kudi.
In this pastram, Andal starts off with the same message from the previous pastram. Koodaarai. Koodiyan and the Kulenda, she also ends with the same message. However, the last yesterday's pastram, what did we see? We have to do any Bhagavad Gunanabha with other people. However, that is what she ends. When she ends with that, she's also ending with that. She's also starting with that. However, who are we to do that Bhagavad Gunanabha with? First, starting is a very important part. Koodaarai vellum seer Govinda. We are supposed to do that Bhagavad Gunanabha with Govinda. He should also be one amongst us in doing this Bhagavad Gunanabha. Not that he's going to come and chant his names with us, but rather that we should always be thinking about him when we are doing these things. You see so many times. Even Adiyan is very guilty of this. When saying Thiruppāvai in the morning, Thiruppāvai is considered Nityanasandana. You're supposed to say it on a day-to-day basis. Without a miss throughout the year, you're supposed to say Thiruppāvai. It's not just for this month. So Thiruppāvai, usually when I say, good, I will go on party, that's the level at which I say Thiruppāvai. You're supposed to say it every day, so I just want to get it over with and I say it. Thoughts about Perumal, none of that is there. I'm not thinking about Perumal. I'm not doing anything of the such. I am just saying something randomly because I have to get it over with. A lot of us, we will just with a blank mind, we will just say things, or our mind will be somewhere else. For instance, if you've been chanting something for years upon years of your life, you can go about it chanting it and think about something else completely in the different side. Or you can even see me, I'm sitting here reading this while we're chanting every single day, right? You can get distracted. We are not having this sort of we are present mind. That present mind should be there, is what Andal is saying here. With this Gunanabhavam, we should not just be thinking, we should not just be going about it because we have to. Do it with the present mind, or else what is the point? Something that we all need to think about a little bit. With that being said, Koodaarai vellum seer Govinda. Vellum seer, he has defeated us. Vellum seer Govinda. Govindan refers to he who is the cowherd, the cowherd boy. We are all the cows. We already looked at that. The cow, the Jivatma refers to the cow. The Paramatma refers to the cowherd. That's you can even in Sanskritam grammar you can show it such. What is the insignificance of that? Koodaarai vellum seer Govinda Vella Kudiyavan. He is going to defeat us. Is he defeating us? You look even in Thiruppāvai Pāsuram, he starts off by saying Perumal is great. We are Nalamudaya Vanyavanavan, Mayar Varamadina and Yavanavan, Ayar Varamaragal, Ladipati Yavanavan, Tuyar Shudari, Torder, and Manane. Then afterwards, what did he say? The next Padigam, he talks about his greatness in this Padigam. Next Padigam, he says, what do we have to do? Read him in Muchavam, read Said, Muyur, read Prayanide, read Saymine. He says you have to let go of all Hankar and Mankar. If you want to truly appreciate the Lord, you have to let go of this ahankar, mankar, that I am the one doing something, I am the one that is going about with anything. That you have to let go. Next up, he starts singing about Patturayadiyavar Kyaliyavan, Pirargalakariya Vittagan, Malal Magal Virumpum, Namarul Peradigal, Mattura Karavan, Nekaravinal Uravere Apundu, Yetiram. Pāsuram did not go on forever. Yetiram. He fainted for 6 months, is what we see. Why did that happen? He spoke about how he was tied up by Yashoda. Arvad spoke about how Krishna was tied up by Yashoda. Through that, what did Perumal do? Koodaarai asks, you did not have any guts to say anything to Yashoda, so instead you tied up my Arvad. You are not able to fight her. You are not able to tie her back. So instead you tied up Arvad with your gunams. Arvad spoke about Yetiram. How simple you are, how willing you are to be tied up by us. And Arvad fainted. Arvad got tied up by Perumal, is what you see. He fainted for 6 months. So that is the state in which he is in this. This is called Leela Vibhuti. We always talk about how this is called the Leela Vibhuti, where he plays with us. We are just toys in his hand. He's playing with us. He will do whatever he wants with us. He's going to play all sorts of tricks on us. He's Mayan. He's Govindan. He's the cowherd. He has control over us. He's going to play with us in that way, just like how he played with Arvar. Vellum, seer. He will win over us, and he will do whatever he wants. That he will let us win over him, like how he did with Yashoda. He will also let him win over us. See, even Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. Once Koodaarai was there. He was the disciple of Swami Ramanuja. Swami Ramanuja was known to have given meanings for Thiruppāvai and other Deva Pravandam. One Swami came and asked, so I want to learn from Koodaarai. I've heard Koodaarai is very immersed in these pastorams more than Swami Ramanuja, so I want to learn from him. Koodaarai opened up the book for that person. He looked at that Uyar Vara, and then he started crying. He said the first pasturam of Thiruppāvai, he started crying. Uyar Vara is all he said. He started crying. Not a single meaning came out of his mouth. This person also was sitting there waiting. When is he going to say something? When is he going to, explain? Nothing. There was no explanation. 1 hour happened. The person, he left. Koodaarai also closed up the book and left. Next day they came back. He opened it up again. Same again. Uyar Vara, first word again. Uyar Vara, he started crying again. Uyar Vara just means he's a great person. He defeated Koodaarai in that way. Vellum, seer. Koodaarai was not even able to explain one pasturam. That is the level to which he has defeated Koodaarai. That is the level to which he has defeated a lot of people. He vellum seer, but he also lets us defeat him, is what you see. He let Yashoda tie him up. See that Koodaarai vellum seer Govinda, Vella Koodiyavan, seer Govinda. Such is his greatness that he can defeat us so easily. Govinda, he's a cowherd boy. He's the one controlling everybody. Untannai Paadi Paregondu Yam Perum Sammanam. What is the point of we have done this whole Vratam? We've done this Gunanubhavam. What is the point of this Vratam? As I asked the question itself, Andal offered 100 pots of akkad, 100 pots of butter. What is the purpose of that? Even a lot of people ask, why are you going to the temple? What's the purpose of that? Or even, why are you listening to Upanyasam? So many different things. Why? What are we going to get out of this? It is not that you're going to get some sort of extrinsic benefit from this. You can kulam tarum selvam tantirum adiyar padadu yarayina vellam nilam tarum seyyum nil vishumbayulum avilodu penilam alikkum valam tarum matrum tantirum pettadayina ayina seyyum nalam tarum solli naan kandu konde narayana ennum namam. You see that so many places in the Shastras it says that if you know these things, if you know the Narayana, if you say this, you can get this benefit, you can get this. Then there's this one story, this one Sishya, what he did was he had a guru. His guru taught him some mantra. So what did this Sishya do was, this Narayana mantra, what did this Sishya do? He wanted to walk on water. So what he did was he went to the banks and he did tapas for 100 years, all that, etc. He did tapas for such a long time. So finally Perumal comes in front of him apparently and he asks him what do you want. He says, I want to be able to walk on water. So he says, okay, here, I will give it to you. You'll be able to walk on water. He goes back to his guru. He says, I'm able to walk on water now. His guru says, why did you waste so much time like that? There's a boat going there. You could have gone on that. Walking on water, what benefit is it going to do for you? Just because you have learned to walk on water, is there any benefit? Similarly, because we have sung according to your will, what is the benefit for us? Is it that we are going to now be able to walk on water, Shashank? Is it that now we are going to get Chakra Pongal, Shashank? That is not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is that it is the Bhagavad Gunanubhava itself is the purpose. That's why Andal, after she offered that 100 andas of both Akka, and Venna, what did she do? She said, come, I will give you more. I'm offering myself to you. I want to think about you more. That Gunanubhava is the goal itself. With that Narayana Nama, we should not be sitting here and trying to chant it and get something else out of it. Narayana Nama itself is sweet enough to say, right? By just saying that itself is so sweet, by knowing the meaning, even more sweetness, why don't we enjoy that? Even in the case of the Devas, the Arvar's great Periyavachan Pillai says the question, they were so interested in the churning of the ocean that something was going to come out of it. They forgot the fact that the true Amritam, the true nectar is standing right next to them. Instead, they were waiting from some salt water juice. He called it Uppuchaya is what Periyavachan Pillai calls that nectar that came out of the ocean. That's all it is. It came out of an ocean, right? What else will come out of ocean other than salt water? Is salt water importance or is it Perumal our importance? We can sit here and enjoy the true nectar. What is the point in living thousands of years if we're not doing that? Let's think, even if we live a short life, let's live it happily with true fulfillment. That comes only out of true Bhagavad Gunanubhava, is what I'm showing here. Padi Paregondu Yam Perum Samana. What are we going to gain? Nadu Pogarum Padisinal and Raga. The Urkaya, all the people in the town, because we finished this Ratham, they will offer us a lot of things. They will say, wow, you've done this Ratham, rain has come for us now. So we are going to give you this, we are going to give you that. Is that the goal? That's not the goal. Why, like as I mentioned, they can give us so many things. That's all secondary. You see, even in Koodaarai Chaitram, there was this person named Thiruppāvai. He had the keys to the temple. Swami Ramanuja wanted the keys to the temple so that he can do some corrections to the way the Triangam temple is managed. So what he did was, he would try to convince Thiruppāvai, was not convinced. So what he did was, this traditionally Davasam is done by Shraddham is done on a year-to-year basis. And so during that Shraddham, you're supposed to call a few people, feed them, and you're supposed to give them whatever they ask. And so Swami Koodaarai, what he did was, he went for that Shraddham. Swami Ramanuja said, go for his Shraddham. So he sat down for that Shraddham. They feed you, and then afterwards they provide so much silver, gold, etc. They give you all that stuff, veshtis, all that sort of stuff. He also gave it, Thiruppāvai gave it. Afterwards, Swami Koodaarai was asked, is that enough for you? He kept saying no. This person kept giving everything in his house. He kept saying no, no, no. At one point, Thiruppāvai becomes so frustrated. What else do you want from me? Because if he doesn't give, it's believed that the ancestors, you have to satisfy the ancestors, is what is believed in that tradition. So that was asked there. To which Koodaarai said, I want the keys to the temple. Afterwards, he gave the keys to the temple to that, because you can't say no to him. Once he sat as the Bhokta there, you cannot say no to him. He gave the keys to the temple. Koodaarai went back. He took all the things that this person had given, all the silver, gold, etc. He chucked it right into the Kaveri river. He did not take a single one of those things home. Every single patram, every single one of the extra things he had given, except for those keys, he put it right into the river, because he did not care for that. Similarly, Padi Paregondu Yam Perum Sammanam, Nadu Pogarum Padisinal Nandraga, whatever the town people give, he will also chuck into the river only. We don't need any of these extra. We don't need to walk on water. We don't need any of these other things. That Gunanubhava itself is enough for us, is the point that Andal brings here. That's all we need. Bhavad Gunanubhava. He will give that Bhavad Gunana itself. So what will we do? What is the true gift that we've gotten out of this Anubhava? Nadu Pogarum Padisinal Nandraga, Shudagame, Tolvalaye, Tode, Sevippuve. She lists out a bunch of jewelry. What is the significance? Is Andal saying that, oh, we don't want any of the things that other people are giving us, because those are all in those aren't jewelry. They're just giving us flower garlands. They're just giving us fruits and stuff. My Acharyan jokes. If you come and give Acharyan, if everybody comes and gives us an Acharyan fruits, is he going to start a fruit stall with it? How many fruits is a person supposed to eat on a day to day? Is that so? People would have given them fruit. Hence, they don't want the fruit. They want jewelry. They want gold prices are up. That's what they want. Is that what Andal is saying? Each one of these pieces of jewelry has has a philosophical significance. Each one is a metaphor. Sudagame. What is this Sudagam refer to? It is the abharanam, it is the jewelry that you wear on top of the head. What is on top of our head? Ongi wala kalanda uttaman per padi nangal nampavikcha. He put this. What did Trivikramadavaram do? He came up and then he put his foot on top of every single person. That Shudagam, that piece of jewelry he put on top of her head, that she's saying, she's pretending it is a piece of jewelry, she's really mentioning, it's all metaphorical. So I will not explain further that it's a metaphor, just everything I say equivalent to a metaphor. She's saying that we want that Sheshatvam, that he has our foot on top, he has his foot on top of us, he is giving us that Adime, he is always protecting us. If we are under his protection, that is what she's showing. If we put some sort of jewelry on the hand and say that's under protection, that doesn't make sense. If we put it on top of our head, it means we're under that sort of jewelry. We are under his protection. We're under his arul. That's what is shown. Sheshatvam is shown by that first point. He is the Seshi. We are the Seshan. That is what is shown here. Shudagame. Tolvale. Then she says we want a sort of abharanam, a jewelry on our hand as well. Tolvale. What is this Tolvale importance? What is the hand? What is the importance of the hand? Anjali Parama Mudra. You take the hand, you take the arms and you do Anjali Mudra. What does that show? Anjali Mudra show, I cannot do anything to achieve you. I cannot do anything to get this Bhagavad Gunanubhava. You have to be the one that gives me that Bhagavad Gunanubhava. We handicap our hands. That is the purpose of this. When your hands are like this, you cannot do anything. If you put your hands in any other way, you can do something with it. If you put your hands like this, you cannot do anything with them. And so Tol Valaye refers to how our hands are handicapped, our hands are in Anjali Mudra. You are the one that is doing everything. We are recognizing that. To have that Tol Valaye, to have that jewelry on that hand refers to the fact that we are recognizing that this hand cannot do anything. He is the one that is doing everything. Yeah, I brought up the multiple types of kartritvam. I'll bring it up again today. Sheshatve, it's been a couple of days since I brought it up. Sheshatve kartritvam, Yatitve kartritvam, Kartritve kartritvam, Bhoktitve kartritvam. These are the 4 types of kartritvam. What is kartritvam? To be able to do an action. Sheshatve kartritvam means that you think that, oh, Perumal is the one that is controlling the entirety of the world, but at the same time you think that I'm going to be able to do something. It's a contradiction in itself. That's Sheshatve kartritvam. Jnatitve kartritvam means that I will be able to get some knowledge and thereby I can achieve the Lord. Jnanam, he gives that knowledge. He is the one that is putting the thought in your head. He is the one that is giving you that knowledge whenever he seems fit. That is what Jnatitve kartritvam thinks that we can do it. That is also not correct. Jnatitve kartritvam. Kartritve kartritvam, it means that you are not aware of Perumal is the one that is doing anything. You think that every single action, if I am able to take this veshti and put it up like this, that is my doing. Or if I am able to do something of the such, anything, it is all my doing. He is the one that is controlling every single one of our actions. As I mentioned previously, we are puppets in his hand is what is shown. Koodaarai, vellum, Govinda. Govinda, he is the cowherd. We are the cows. He is the one that is we are just puppets in his hand is what is shown here. That is kartritve kartritvam, bhoktitve kartritvam. To think that through any of these things, any of the things that we do, we are the enjoyers. He is the enjoyer. He is the Anandamayan. He is the one that is always being happy. Why is he happy? Because he's always protecting us. Anandamayan, if we were suffering, is Perumal going to sit up there and be always happy? He's Anandamayan. He's always happy because he's always protecting us. He's always thinking about Parkadal Yoga Nidre Sinde Seiran. He's not just sleeping. You go to Divya Desam, his eyes aren't closed. They're always open because he is thinking about how can I protect you? How can I ensure that my protection is always provided to you? So of course he's happy. If we are protected, he's happy because that's all he cares about. So what do? How is our happiness? Shashank, are we just supposed to be always frowned faces then if he's the one that is Anandamayan? We see that he's happy and thereby we are also happy because he's for his protection, right? That is what is shown there. So these 4 types of kartritvam are not there when you do Anjali. When you say Anjali, when you put Anjali, you should think, oh, these 4 types of kartritvam, they are not that, is what you should remember whenever you do this. Tod refers to the earring. What is the significance of the earring? Usually, traditionally, the earring is actually offered, it's not in traditional Tamil culture. You see that the Tod was not actually made out of gold traditionally. They would take a flower and they would use that, they would pierce the ears and they would put a flower through it. That shows the Malar. Flower refers to Malar. Malar, flower refers to Kripa. His Kripa is always upon us. He may be so powerful. He may play with us. I said in Koodaarai, in the first line, I said that Koodaarai vellum Govinda. He has defeated us. Is he defeating us? And then afterwards, you see that so many Tadam Pongattam Pongo. I sings Yettigindrom, Nathambai, Raman Thiranam, Sotam Nambi Sugriva, Umme Torigindrom, Pate Pesi, Umme, Engal, Vanam Kolame, Kuttar Pola Adigidrom, Kuramani Durame. You see that in Periya Tirumari, there's 2 padigams that are chanted in which it is said as if like once the Asuras, the Rakshasas have been defeated, these Vanaras are then like torturing them like crazy, all the sort of mess. They're basically ragging them. That's exactly what is happening in those pastimes. And so is that what Perumal is going to do? He's defeated us. Now he's going to tell us, you dance like this for me. Is he going to like torture us like that? He's going to make fun of us? No. He has that Kripa is what is shown here. That Kripa is what is denoted by the Tode. Tode is what it denotes. Chevi Puve. Chevi Puve also refers to the fact that Chevi Pu refers to it is also a type of flower. We are putting flower on top of our ear. Chevi Puve. What is the specialty of that? Again, it is the fact that here Andal says Chevi. We will hear about his Kripa. We always have to hear about his Gunanabam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Kirtanam itself comes second in the list of bhakti types of bhakti. Shravanam is the number 1 type of bhakti. You should first hear how Perumal is great, and thereby you can have that Gunanabhava. When somebody is speaking as well, they may just be saying something on the flow. However, when somebody is hearing, they will think about it and they will process it, and thereby they will understand that gunanubhava, right? Shravanam is the first point of bhakti. That is what Andal is shown here. Thiruppāvai, we will hear about your greatness. So this is all the way we will do Bhagavad Gunanubhava. Padagame, she afterwards says, we will wear the clothing. It is asked, the question is asked in the commentaries itself. Why does Andal first bring up the point that we are going to wear jewelry? Then afterwards say we are going to wear the clothing. First, usually we wear clothing and then afterwards we wear jewelry. To which there's two answers. One is the answer given in the commentary itself to that question, that, Andal, because she is so in an excitement to see Krishna, she does not know which order she is wearing. That is the first explanation. Furthermore, the second explanation comes out of the metaphor that I'm giving itself. First, I've given you all the types of Bhagavad Gunanubhava. And then what does the Padagame do? What does the clothing do? It is a protection for us. It will ensure that anything that, if we first wear the jewelry and then afterwards I wear a shirt or something, nothing will harm the jewelry. If I wear a chain and then afterwards I wear a shirt, even if somebody throws something at me, it will not hit the chain will not break. The jewelry will not break, right? If we wear clothes on top of it. Similarly, Padagame refers to the fact that he's Virodhi Nirasanan, he is the protector. And so if we're doing this Gunanubhavam of all these sorts of Palkanangal, Yamanivom, we are wearing all these sorts of jewelry, and then afterwards he is providing us, he is the clothing for us, then what does that mean? He's protecting us, he's ensuring that jewelry stays fit. It's always that he's ensuring that it's always that. Tomorrow also we'll look into the significance of what always refers to. Andal brings up that fact in tomorrow's topic, soulmates. However, today she says that he's going to give the Bhagavad Gunanubhava, and he's also going to protect us from external virodhis and the internal virodhis as well. We saw in the 10 Disney princesses itself, there were 10 different types of virodhis. Furthermore, we also saw there's other types of virodhis as well. Even all these Kartrutvams are also virodhis. Ahankaram of different kinds is virodhis. Do not share these Gunanubhava as virodhis. He will ensure none of those things impact our Gunanubhava. It happens properly. Palkalangal, Yamanivo, Adayuduppom. That's what we will wear this clothing. Padagame, Endane, Palgalanum Yam. Sorry, Shamika. Padagame does not refer to the clothing. Padagame refers to the jewelry you wear on the foot. I'm sorry about that. I missed that. Padagame, Palganangal Yamanimum. I already told you the answer to Palganang Yamanimum, Adayuduppom. Aday refers to the clothing. The clothing we are wearing it, I've already given the exact meaning as to why that is the case. However, there's also the Palgarangal that you see, that's the Padagame that you wear on the foot. The foot Padagam, what is the significance of that? Moimam Puril Pagi, Mudrai Chelepattan and the Kaimavak Karul say the Karmugil Port, but then Kandan Yamani Chulli Padi, Yerundum, Parandum, Tullada, Tamani Karmumian Soli, Tankadal Vatta Tullire. Ivar says that when you are enjoying the Gunanubhava of Perumal, you should be jumping up and down. Padagame, you put that jewelry on the foot, we are jumping up and down in that joy, in that ecstasy. Furthermore, you go with the feet. You can go to other places and tell other people about it too. Importance of all of these things, to share this Gunanubhava. That is the other point of Gunanubhava that is referred to by the jewelry that you put on the foot. Padagame, Endane, such Palganangal, Yamanimu, we will wear that. Adayuduppom, after we wear the jewelry, we will wear the protection that Perumal gives. Adayuduppom, that is the clothing. And then Pinne Pal Chore. Now we get to our favorite part, the Akka Edisil recipe. I will briefly show what is the recipe for Akka Edisil, and then afterwards we will look into this philosophical significance. My Acharya said we are simply just eating this Akka Edisil and then saying we are eating Chakra Pongal. Nobody's making Akka Edisil, and then we are calling it Akka Edisil. And then we are saying that today it seems that we have Akka Edisil provided for us, but we are saying that after that we have this Akka Edisil, etc. What is this Akka Edisil recipe? I will provide it very shortly. Let's just take, we are going to make Akka Edisil 1 glass of rice. For 1 glass of rice, you take half glass of mung dal is the amount. For that, you will boil it in 8 cups of milk. First, you have to sit and boil that milk, and that what will happen is that milk itself will turn into like a palgoa peda sort of consistency because of how much you boil that milk down. You will have to look for the rice within the Akka Edisil. It will mainly be that milk, 8 cups of milk for that 1 cup of rice. Usually we see if we are to put rice, 2 cups of water, 8. You can understand what it's like then. So that is what it's done. It is continuously mixed again and again. In Shiviliputtur, you see they work on it all throughout the night. That is how it is cooked. What else afterwards? Is that it? It's just this. Afterwards you are based on the amount of mung dal you added. For each mung dal, you have to have 1 almond and 1 cashew and 1 raisin. And you take all of this, and then also 1 crystal sugar. You add this crystal sugar regularly, and you take these raisins, cashews, and almonds, and you temper them in ghee. And then afterwards you add it. So you can imagine how much of cashews, raisins, etc. are seen in that gunanubhava of that wonderful akar. Furthermore, then the main point of this akar is you have to add ghee. What is the amount of ghee you add to this? Is it simply there's no amount? You keep adding amount of ghee, and then you ensure that there's 1 inch amount of ghee or that sticks on top. You keep adding ghee and you keep stirring. The ghee will mix into the akar itself. Finally, when it stops, when it's no longer able to mix in, then you keep adding. It will slowly start to show up on the top. And that point, you have to make sure there's 1 inch of ghee on top, and then your akar distil is finished. That is what is this akar distil that Andal brings up. She wanted to give 100 pots of this akar distil to Perumal. We are making chakar pongal and calling it akar. This is what akar distil is. Let's try to make it in our own homes if we wanted to. But that is what Andal is saying in this pastram. This pastram today is known as Koodaarai. Usually they make akar distil on this day. Nowadays, if you go to most places, it will be something dry that they are making and they call it akar distil and they give it to you. This is akar distil. What is the significance of this? It's philosophical significance. Paul Chore. Paul, as I mentioned in the we saw previously in Malay Vanivanna, Vagai Niraduvan, Melayar Sevanigal, Vendavane Ketian, Yanathalam, Nadanga Moralvana, Paul and Vanna Tunpanjasanime. These shankas are the color of the milk. Milk refers to the fact that it is without dosham. It is white in color. It is without any flaws. Our gunanubhava that Perumal gives us. If we are to go after something, it will have fully flaws. If Perumal were to give us gunanubhava, how will it be with flaws? Best way to have akar distil is to not make it at home. To go to Koil and get it from Perumal. Right? Similarly, we will also do the exact same thing. We will go to him and he will give us that Paul Chore. He will give us that flawless gunanubhava. Milk refers to that which is flawless. Paul Chore. Moodanai peedu murangai vaivara kudi moodanai peedu murangai. She refers to the ghee that is covering up the entirety of it. It is trying to cover it up. We looked at the fact that the Paul Chore is the gunanubhava that is given. What did I say about butter? Butter is the soul of the milk. Similarly, ghee also similarly the soul of the milk. You have to even take it even further, and then afterwards it becomes the soul. It's like the soul of the milk. It's the most condensed form of it. What does that mean? Our soul is trying to have that gunanubhava of that Paul Chore. Our soul, it is trying to cover it up. You see in this akar distil, no matter how much ghee you add, it will struggle to cover up each. That's why you have to add like certain all that amount, because no matter how much you add, it will not be able to fully cover up each and every single grain of rice or each and every single one of the other things we've added. Similarly, no matter how much the jivatma, the soul, the ghee, tries to cover Bhagavad Gunanubhavam, you can never finish doing Gunanubhavam of Perumal. It is Vedamanithukum with this Thiruppāvai. Years upon years, everybody saying Thiruppāvai Upanyasam. Nobody is finishing the meanings of Thiruppāvai. You can say different meanings every single year. As I mentioned, the PVA Swami has written 10 plus commentaries on Thiruppāvai. Plus, besides that, there's the traditional commentaries. There's the Arumpada Urais. There's also the Puttur Swami has also put his own commentaries. On Koil.org, you see that Sayadi Swami has put a couple of commentaries. You see that there's also Swapadaya Sarthams. Besides all of this, my Acharya spent approximately 6 months with me to learn this, to teach me this. So many meanings. Gunanubhavam is without an end. You see that even in Thiruppāvai, it is 1102 pastram, 1102 pastrams. What is the significance of that? 1102 pastrams. Each pastram, each we say that first each pattu or each 100 is referring to one guna. Further, next then you say that each 10 pastrams, set of 10 pastrams is equal to, each decade is equal to one guna. Is that all it is? No, each pastram is one guna. No, each word is one guna. Each word has a guna in it. Where vara, Once he says Uyarava Koodaarai is crying, that means that has so much meaning to it. That word has so much of good that the gunas that he's unable to even say it, because each word has more than one guna in it. One guna, we say that it has one guna. It has so many gunas. His gunas are unending. Each, we say Vishnu Sahasranam. We think that it's just names of each one is a guna. Each one is 10 gunas. Each one is a Bhagavad Guna Darpanam, is a commentary written by Sri Parasara Bhatta. He basically took the Vishnu Sahasranam. For each one, he has provided a guna. Is that all it is? Gunas are without end. No matter how much this soul, this key, tries to cover up the palchore, we can never cover it up. We can never finish his Gunanubhava. So don't worry. This gift of Gunanubhava, this enjoyment, this party will never end. This Gunanubhava will never end. This feast will never end. Next Ekadasi will never come. But Dwadasi will continue. We will continue eating, is what is shown by Andal here. You don't have to do the Vratam again. You can enjoy this Gunanubhava fully, is what is shown here. Moodanai Peidhu, Murangai Varivar. It will be flowing down our hands, because we will not be able to take it. It will come out. It will not be able to be fully expressed. It will not be able to be fully enjoyed. That Gunanubhava is what is shown here. Moodanai Peidhu, Murangai Varivar. Koodiyirundu Kulandu. If you were to try to have even this much of akka additional on your own, you will end up with diabetes. Share it with others. Don't make it for yourself and eat it all yourself. Important point is Gunanubhava is to be shared with others. Koodiyirundu Kulandu. To say that it is only for me is a point of ahankara, mamakaram, to think that I am the one doing something, I am the one that is going to get his Gunanubhava. It is for everybody, because he's giving it to everybody. He's not trying to say that only those with Thiruman Kapu should have Gunanubhava, only those with Poonal should have Gunanubhava, only those that wear Veshti like this should have Guna. That's not Perumal's point. Those that come to temple in the morning should have Gunanubhava. Gunanubhava is for every single last Jivatma, every single last molecule. And so hence, we will share that Gunanubhava as much as we can. You even see in the story of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he apparently went in the forest and he was chanting the names of Krishna. And so what happened then? All the animals also started chanting with him, is what you see. Gunanubhava is not limited. It is for everyone, is what is brought out here in this pasuram. With this, Andal concludes her 27th pasuram. She concludes Gunanubhava. I will say it to this pasuram. Koodaarai vellum Sri Govinda, Undanai Paadi Parai Kondu Yaam Parisammanam, Naadapavarum Parisinal Nandraga, Koodagame Tholvalaye Tode Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Endranaya Palvaranum Yaamayivom, Aadiyuruppo Padathipine Paalsode, Moodanai Peidhu Murangai Varivar. Tomorrow's topic is ignorance is bliss. And then further also on the 18th, I keep mentioning it, on the 18th I will give the meaning of all 30 pastorams. So please make sure to be there on that day. We start at 7:45 that day, the Upanyasam itself. So make sure to be there that day. I will give meanings to all 30 pastorams. Tomorrow's ignorance is bliss.
So Swami beautifully explained. He engrossed all of us in this Gunanubhava. So yes, of course, So in this pasuram, normally we work for 30 days and then we ask for salary when we go to office. Here Andal is saying, first give me the salary. Okay, Krishna has asked, what did you do? You have said that you are going to do some vratam. On top of it, you asked for some accessories. In the previous pasuram, you asked for a lot of accessories from them. We have not even gone to Yamuna. We have not even done any Neeratam. Now you are saying, give me the palan. So, beautifully Andal is saying, don't you know what the palam we came from? It is to see you and do Mangala Sasranams to you. To come and take your blessings, to engross. What is Neeratam? It is engrossing ourselves in the Anubhavam, the divine qualities of the Supreme Lord. Okay, and we are sharing it with everybody. That is the true Gunanubhavam. And as Swami, have engrossed us with all these Gunanubhavam. We will also see how this also refers to as a prayer to our own Acharya to engage more and more in the service of his lotus feet and engage in the service of the Bhagavadgītāmas. So Swami beautifully talked about Koodaarai vellum Sri Govinda. How Koodaarai, it is said that when Bhagavad Ramanujacharya, there was a devotee who came a little late for the Kalakshepa Goshti, Gunanubhava Goshti of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya. So he asked, why are you late? He said, I went to Koodaarai house to listen what he was saying. Then Bhagavad Ramanuja closed his book and said, I want to hear what Koodaarai is going to say, or how he has explained. I want to hear that. Can you please explain? He said. Then he said, what should I say about it? You should only ask how many upper garments got wet. because he will say, as Swami said, Oyarvara, Oyarnalam, he will start. Then torrents and torrents of rain will come from his eyes, not just water. Torrents and torrents of rain will come from his eyes. Because it is said that, also when Bhagavad Ramanujacharya Swami says, like when he says Ranganada, he could not even complete it. He will just start Ranga and he will be so engrossed in the Nama and the Guna that his voice will start choking. His eyes will start shedding tears of joy, and so all these gunas come into their hearts that they are not even able to choke. They are choked with emotions. See, that is the kind of love. When we have that pure love, that is the kind of emotions that come out. So people used to ask, if somebody goes to Thiruppāvai's Upanyasam, they will ask how many upper garments got wet, because they used to take, their upper garments, and they used to wipe all his tears. Again, he will engross. Again, he will go into a state of prema, and tears of joy used to come out of his ears. So this is the anubhavam that is why he is called Arvan. The word Arvan in Tamil actually means one who goes very deep into that anubhavam, into that experience, and they are not even able to talk. That is the depth of their anubhavam. So Kuratalvan, again, as he said, Oyarvara Oyarnala, means he is the supreme personality of Godhead. That is what it means. He is not, if we think we are great, he is greater than us. If we think we are humble, then he becomes even more humbler than us. So that is the anubhavam that she is talking. So for all the people who are against his wish, he goes one step above and then conquers their ego and pride. But if you surrender very humbly to him, he becomes more surrendered to us. And practically, he goes and touches the feet of all the gopikās as if that is the very purpose of his existence. To that extent, he is going. So that is the greatness of the Pāsuram. And then here it is also referred to as as we saw before, like an acharya also. He bestows all these knowledge. And if somebody speaks about or if they don't speak correctly the meanings of the Vedas, or if they accept the Vedas but they don't give the correct meaning of the Vedas, he goes and clarifies their meanings. He explains the true meanings, and then he explains to them in a very nice manner so that they also accept and they also join our congregation. So that is how it is referred to, one of the noble qualities of the acharya. Then, as we saw, first Andal is asking for the feast, and then she is talking about the fasting. The feast that the acharya gives is, he gives us what is called as acharya sambandham. That is, he is the one who brings that connection, who the connection is always there, but he explains to us the connection between the Supreme Lord and us. And it is said to be as the acharya gives the upadesam. He establishes, or what I won't say the word establish, because establish is something that you do when something is not there and you try to actually join something. No, it is not that. We already have an eternal connection with the Supreme Lord, but somehow we have forgotten this, and all our suffering is because of that. So he reminds us back about our connection by giving 5 gifts to us. Shudagame, Tolvaliye, Tore Shivipole. Shudagame, first he talks about how to do worship, how to worship the Lord. That he gives us. Traditionally, we call it as Pancha Samskaram. So Pancha Samskaram is a kind of an activity that an acharya performs on us, where he purifies us, where he gives us the knowledge, and then finally he makes us objects of the grace of the Supreme Lord, after which we can do all the worship. So the first gift that the acharya gives us, how to worship the Lord. He teaches. We out of our own egos are thinking and doing it in some way, but he tells us how the process to worship, just like how Andal is teaching in her Thiruppāvai, how to worship the Supreme Lord. First, we have to understand who it is, understand who we are, and then what is the relationship between all of us. If this understanding properly comes, then we will be able to properly worship him. So that is Shudagame. Tolvaliye, that means he gives the conch and the discus. He puts an insignia of the conch and the discus on our shoulders. This is also one of the activities that the acharya performs when he initiates us. Then Tode here refers to our ears. Actually, what is the decoration for our ears? He gives a nama. He gives a nama, Ramanuja Dasan nama. So after that, after getting the sambandha, or after getting the initiation from the acharya, we don't go and say, I am so and so, I am so and so. We always say, Adiye Ramanuja, the humble self, is a servant of Bhagavat Ramanujacharya, and it can also refer to Krishna, because Ramanuja means the brother of Rama. Krishna is also the brother of Balarama, so it can also refer to Krishna. So we have to introduce ourselves, or we have to think about ourselves as dasas, mainly as servants of the Supreme Lord's devotees. That is how we have to think. Then say, Tore Sevipuve, again he gives a very, very hidden meanings. That is the Ragasyatra, the Ragasyatra Jnana. So there are three Ragasyams. One is called as the Ashtakshara Mahamantra, the 8-syllable mantra, then the Dvaya Mahamantra, and then the Charama Sloka, Sarvadharmana Parityaja, Mamekam Saranam Mudra, Avam Tva Sarvabhaktive, Moksheshyami Machachaka. So he gives us the meanings. Again, it is not just giving, letting know about the mantra. It is not about chanting the mantra. It is understanding the meaning and living by that understanding. So all this he is explaining to us. Then he says Padagame. Padagame refers to the holy feet. He teaches how to decorate our body with the holy feet of the Supreme Lord. So we say we wear the Thiruman Kappa. We have the we decorate our forehead with the Nama of the Supreme Lord. Just to say that we are your servants. We are very, very insignificant. You are supremely big. So to address that, we put Nama, and we also decorate our body with the 12 Namas, okay, of the Supreme Lord. So he teaches all these things. And then the most important thing, he gives us the dress. What is the dress? That is the dress of knowledge and bhakti, the prema. He covers us with the dress and knowledge. That bhakti, or that how, just like how Koodaarai got so engrossed in the divine gunas of the Supreme Lord, similarly, he also, gradually gives us the prema bhakti, so that we can also enjoy those, the nice qualities of the Supreme Lord. So he teaches all these things, and finally he is giving the anubhavam of Vaikuntham. He helps us to cross all this samsara, and he takes us to Vaikuntham itself, and that is the ultimate gift that he is giving us. And it is said that those people who have taken the shelter of, this is a famous sloka, Mannuyir Alinge, Manavala Mamunivan, Punnadiyan Chengamala Podulai, Unnichiratale Tindal, Amanavanam Nannai, Karatale Tindal Karan. So the message is that if we take the shelter of the Acharya, who is again taking the shelter of his Acharya, and this goes on all the way to Bhagavad Ramanujacharya Acharya himself, then what will happen? Amanavam, there is a person called Amanavan. His job is, there is a river called Viraja which separates the Leela Vibhuti and the Nitya Vibhuti. So there is a river, and then we will go there, and the word Viraja means Raja. Raja means that, it is the Tamogunam and Rajogunam. So Viraja means one which removes all the Rajagunam from our souls. So Viraja is that river. So there is a person called Amanavana, where he lifts those people who go and take bath. He will go and lift them, and then he will take us to Vaikuntham. That Amanavanam will consider, it is my job. I am at debt. Debt of what? Because these people who have taken the shelter of the Acharya, I am waiting for them to come there so that I can pull them and accompany them to the Vaikuntha. That is the kind of anubhavam. Instead of trying to do so many bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, this, that, so many people are trying so many things to go to reach Vaikuntha. Even Brahma is not able to even have a glimpse of what it is. That gift is being given to us just like that. Why? Because of our bhakti towards the Acharya, because of our abhimana, because the Acharya is praying for us. Please give him this gift. So because of that Krishna is going to give the gift of Vaikuntham itself to all of us. With that, we will stop today. And whatever prayers, whatever activities we are doing, it is out of gratitude. The Acharya is giving so much for us. Let me do something small out of gratitude and love. So with that aspect, we will continue. And tomorrow's Pāsuram, Andal is talking about Sharanagati. What is surrender? The science of Sharanagati. She has just compressed that in eight phrases in tomorrow's song. We request all devotees to join for tomorrow's Anubhav also. And then we will conclude, as Swami said, we will conclude on the 18th, where we are going to explain the summary of the entire 30 songs. We request all devotees to also come and enjoy that. With that, we will stop.